Thanks a lot, Vinny, for that. Well, now let's talk about corporate earnings. Kaveri Seeds delivered its fourth quarter numbers. Steady performance. Overall, there was that strong rabi crop as well that led to strong sowing. So Kaveri Seeds managed to benefit from that. But let's talk about the future and more. We have with us Mr. Mithun Chand, Executive Director with Kaveri Seeds. Mr. Chand, appreciate you joining us today on ET Now. Let's start off first with the fact that revenues have been quite strong in the quarter gone by. But what was the impact of COVID-19 on operations? Even though, of course, agriculture is in the essentials list, but nevertheless, it's not been completely unscathed from the whole COVID impact and the lockdown that followed.
Yeah, the year was good for us. The entire agriculture sector has done well for this year. Rainfall was pretty good compared to previous years, and most of the tanks are also full. And if you see these COVID issues now, initially there was a bit of challenges in operating for getting the daily labor or to transport the produce to the factories, and then sending it back to the market to make available for the farmers. It was a bit of challenges in the earlier days, but both the central and state governments both have sorted out the issues or addressed it very well. Initially itself stating here as an essential commodity. So in our operations, we managed to do well, and we have not seen much of an impact. I mean, the impact is very minimal for Kaveri because we have a huge infrastructure, and as we worked as per the government norms, because our infrastructure also helped us to work for a decent time with my maintaining the social distancing norms. So in that way, we are able to do it, and the impact is very minimal on us, especially for Kaveri.
Okay, Mr. Chand, would you consider the operational performance to be up to the mark, that managed to sort of, meet your targets? Because analysts had slightly stronger EBITDA penciled in. So anything that you observed, any perhaps material impact that you witnessed on, material costs or raw material costs?
Nothing. If you see the agriculture produce, most of the produce is, I meant to say, the raw material is as a seed itself, what we produce. So it's a continuous activity. We have not incurred much of a cost. But initially, like the packing materials of the, I meant to say, supporting like packing materials of the transportation, there we are seeing a light increase in the cost, but that's not a major cost for us. It's all percentages up to 2 or 3% of the total cost of goods. So it has not impacted much on it. But the only thing is that it has been a bit of a challenges in the initial stages, and even now to transport it to the interior parts of it to place the product. But otherwise, not much of a cost or not much of an impact on our seeds.
All right. Mr. Chand, in 2019, you had spoken about the reinvention of Kaveri Seeds. So I want to understand, have you been able to take any of those steps to sort of reinvent the company as we enter the new, of course, this new decade? Or has, that plan as well been disrupted due to COVID?
We stick to our guidance, we stick to our vision, what we had a year back. We said that we want to enter into a non-cotton segment crops, and we want to, we are already there in non-cotton segment, but we want to increase as a percentage of revenue of non-cotton segment, that we are already witnessing it. Even though cotton grew by more than 15% last year, as a company we grew close to 18%. So we are doing well in non-cotton segment, and especially like crops like rice, which is actually picking up, where we are growing by more than 55% in hybrid rice compared to previous year. And the rice is a very huge market in India, which is close to like 40 million hectares across India. So that's a huge opportunity where we are entering, and we are gaining market shares substantially in rice market. And other non-cotton segment crops like maize, we have done well. Maize is also increasing, and vegetables. Even vegetables is increasing in India, and we are doing very well in vegetables. Even in vegetables, we have grown for more than 40% compared to previous year. So these are actually helping us to diversify our portfolio and reduce the dependency on the cotton crops, and these crops are more profitable. And still we go with the vision, even in post-COVID or pre-COVID, our plans are not changed, and in fact now entire agriculture, because of the COVID issues, entire agriculture is given most of the importance. And if you have seen yesterday also, PM talking about importance of agriculture and how we can double the farm income. And that really helps the companies like us, which are in an organized sector, and we are the main enablers to increase the yields. As seed is the main part where they can increase the yields, and the government is also trying to reduce the middleman to get the product, to get a good rate for the farmers. So these all will help in agriculture in a long way, and I think COVID has not impacted much of our operation, but it has been, now it will be given more focus on this. And the way India has handled, especially for the food security, everyone was able to get the entire food, and even the farmers, but initially they have not able to sell the crops in the market, but government has really supported them in buying the produce and all those things. So agriculture is now in India is given more importance now, what I think, in the post-COVID.
Okay, tell us about the traction seen in recent product launches and what's lined up in the near term, including hybrids. What kind of market share gains have you seen, especially in states like Maharashtra and Gujarat?
Yeah, the introduction of hybrids is a very continuous activity. We continuously launch new hybrids to tap new markets, not only to tapping new market, but even to increase our market shares and to address the different issues, like especially whether drought or a pest or something, where usually they affect the plants. So that's a continuous activity where we launch hybrids. And in terms of the geography, we were very strong in southern India earlier, 15 years back, but in the last 15-20 years, we have entered northern India, central and northern India. That's where we are getting the market share. If you take rice, most of the rice is sold in central eastern India, you can say like UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh. These are the areas where most of the hybrid rice sales happen. So in these markets, we are already strong, and the states like Punjab and Haryana, we have done extremely well this year in rice market, and even in cotton, we have entered those markets which contributes a decent size to the total industry. So we have launched hybrids in those markets. Also, we are increasing market shares in those markets. So if you see, basically the majority of the market share gains are in central and northern India for us, and that will continue for some more years as we can go up. We can increase our market share substantially in those parts. Our hybrids are really suitable there.
All right. Well, Mr. Chand, thank you so